Oh my god, NIO stock. The NIO is going bullish. Did you realize how NIO performed last year? What a crazy rise! It went from $1.69 in October 2019 to $28.50 in October 2020. It means that if you invested $1,690 on that time and got exactly 1,000 shares, your position will be at approximately $28,480 right now. You will have a return of 16 times of what you previously invested, or a return of more than 1,300% on your investment in just a year. It's pretty good short-term investment return. If you know about any other investments that gave you the same return, please comment it below. Two main reasons to have invested last year in NIO. The first reason is simple. You're a risk taker, or you really love the brand. I considered both arguments as very tangible. I tell you about it because back on November 2019, NIO predictions were very bad. Medias were talking about the insolvability of a company. NIO was close to bankruptcy. NIO's rate suggested the company had less than a year cash reserve. They were trying to control costs by opening smaller showrooms, laying off staff, and trying to raise capital. How come NIO realized a big turn of events? How come a company close to bankruptcy can overcome financial issues and realize 16 times its value? Investor mindsets completely shifted about NIO when sales report back in August show a drastic increase on vehicles sold. Also, we have to mention $1 billion in April 2020 had to be raised in capital to restore investor confidence. Since then, NIO has soared, building a strong brand. Since the beginning, the Chinese company has been building a strong brand, and a lot of people compare it with Tesla. A strong brand can become a competitive advantage or a moat that can make a company almost unbeatable. And NIO is aspiring to be thrown as one of the first automakers on a high-growth EV sector. It means that it still has a lot of room to grow and market share to conquer. NIO is becoming a loved brand on the EV sector, and that excitement around the investment community will translate to a pump on the markets. We've seen already the high volatility in the last months, as it will probably continue for a long time. Get your seatbelt fastened, because this will be a roller coaster drive. Let's take a look at the financial statements. If we get into the quarterly report of this year, we can see that deliveries have been growing this year compared to 2019. It went from 3,553 to 10,331 deliveries on Q2. Total revenue year over year grew by 146% since Q2 of 2019. If we go down on the income statement, we can see that we can't really talk about net profits, but net loss instead. A net loss of RMB 1,176 million approximately, or exactly in US dollars, $166.5 million in the second quarter of 2020, which means that NIO has still a lot of work to do on reducing costs to turn around to achieve net profits. At the beginning, most startups are burning cash and lose money to continue their activities and produce goods and services that will maybe one day help them to achieve high return. A lot of factors need to be considered to succeed on the market. Tech. Another factor that makes NIO stand out from other competitors is its bet on AI, artificial intelligence. NIO has an internal system that remembers us to Alexa, a driving assistant that accompanies us all the way, putting big efforts on developing new technologies and bringing new approaches to solve some of the key problems that EV sectors have found from the beginning of its existence, like low battery autonomy. NIO has tackled this question with an extensive battery charging and power swap facility network. This type of battery is spread all around China, and NIO intends to be the solution of a battery energy problem. We don't want to argue if NIO is a good or bad investment. We do think NIO has a lot of potential, but we strongly recommend you to do your own research and to always invest with diligence and care. This video is done just for educational purposes, and it's not meant to be considered as financial advice. If you liked this content, join us by subscribing to our channel, Comment below your thoughts about NIO and VV markets so we all learn more together. See you next time.